Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. It's about 12:30 here in the Northeast. April 13th already. Time is flying and spring is approaching. Thank goodness. Yesterday, April 12th, was the first day I have been warm since about September of 2014. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but physically speaking, when you have a spinal cord injury, your spinal cord also it does so many things for you. I don't even think I knew I had a spinal cord till I was injured. Um, it regulates your temperature. So after you're injured, you're kind of like a reptile. You need a hot rock in your cage or in your tank. Whatever temperature your environment is, that's what your body is going to try to go to. And while 80 degrees might sound warm, because that's the temperature in my house over the wintertime, 80 degrees. It's a balmy household we live in to try to help meet my needs. It's still 98.6, it's still 18.6 degrees below your body temperature. So it's hard to stay warm. And I burn a lot of calories staying warm. That's one reason I'm thin. In the wintertime, it gets same situation, just the opposite as far as temperature regulation. If it's a 95-degree day, you say, well, 95 degrees is not over too far away from your 98.6. So you should be comfortable. 95 degrees is not comfortable. 95 degrees will make me so hot, and because again my regulator is off, once I get hot it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And in fact, one time when I got overheated, I had a heat stroke and I lost my ability to speak. For those of you who know me well, I'm sure you don't believe that that's possible, but it was. It was very scary. But I had been in a hot environment and I was even inside, but no air conditioning. And long story short, I had a heat stroke and lost my ability to speak. And it was very, very scary. And it took me a while afterwards to be able to have the connection from my brain to my mouth smooth again. I would search for words, I would stumble over words, I would say the wrong word. So at any rate, that's just to give you a little bit of education on living with SCI and how it affects your temperature. So yesterday, the 12th, was the first day that I could go outside and sit outside in the sun and feel the warmth of the sun on my bones, in my body. It took away every ache and pain better than any Advil or pain medication ever could. It's just lovely. It's not humid. It wasn't windy. It was just heaven. And I sat outside and I haven't felt that good physically since last fall, since September, maybe October. And I have been personally going through a bit of a challenging time, as we all do. Some health issues have popped up that I need to follow through on, and I don't know my answers to these issues yet, and I'm sure all of you out there at one point or another has had to play the waiting game, either for yourself or for a loved one, of, okay, is this going to be a serious situation, or is this going to be something that we just have to take care of and nip it in the bud and it's no big deal? And you find that out through specialists and tests and all of that stuff. But it takes time. So waiting is hard. Waiting for a cocktail at a restaurant is hard enough. Waiting for test results stinks. So I've been a little bit stressed and I've been a little bit anxious. And yesterday, the blue sky and the sun and the people driving by on their motorcycles and just looking out at my home and my surroundings and thinking of the people that I love and who love me, and thinking of all of the things that are going on in the world that are so challenging for folks that don't deserve it. I sat outside and I'm looking at my environment and I'm thinking, gosh, somewhere around the world, someone is not just hungry or without clean water or without a home. There is so much fighting and intolerance going on, and people living in fear and people being persecuted. And I thought of that. I thought they live with that every day. Here I am living, sitting outside on my deck with the sun on my face, feeling like $1,000,000, and somewhere else out there, someone is living their daily life, and it consists of nothing that mine does. So for the first time in a long time, I felt another part of me get warm, and I felt such gratitude for for everything I have in my life, for the things I've created myself, for like as I said, the people in my life, for my life that I have. I felt such gratitude, and the more I focused on that, and it wasn't hard to do because it was just such a beautiful day. For the first time since my things have gotten a little more challenging than usual, I felt myself, just the weight just came off my shoulders, and I remembered and realized of the power of gratitude. When you feel lucky, when you feel fortunate, you feel invincible. You feel you can do anything. You say, I have things so good as they are right now. It can only get better. I can only make things better. And I have the power and the confidence and the desire and the ambition to make things better in my life, whether it's my health, whether it's my finances, whatever it is. And gratitude is something that I think a lot of us take for granted subconsciously, and it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to, a very, I don't know, kind of silly statement I'm going to make, but it's very easy for us to not stop and smell the roses, whatever our roses in life may be. And it's easy to take it for granted, all the good things. And you don't always want to have to say, to compare yourself to somebody else that has it worse than you. And it's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself or a better life for yourself. And with more, I don't mean materialistic, or I don't necessarily mean materialistic. There's nothing wrong with that either. If you work hard and are able to enjoy vacations and big adult toys that we have as more than children sometimes, and whatever you can enjoy in life, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You worked hard for it. You're a good intending person. More power to you, and tell me how you did it. That's what I always say when someone has something or is doing something that I see how it affects them. in a positive way. I want to know more. That's all I want to know. So yesterday I felt a little bit not just rejuvenated but recentered. And I think it's really important to be grateful and express gratitude for that. And it's amazing how it will help you feel better about yourself, about where you are in your life. It will help you see all that you've accomplished and more that you want to accomplish. It'll give you the power to be honest with yourself as far as your own circumstances and what they need. Do you, for example, what your issues are? One of my issues I'll share with you, I'm not very good at asking for help. I I want to say I wasn't brought up that way, but I don't want to use that as a reason, because I'm an adult, and regardless of how I was brought up, I know enough now to that it's fine, and asking for help regardless of what it's for or what it's in, whether it's business, whether it's uh, health related, whether it's uh, anything that you need help with, it's okay to reach out and ask, or reach out and find the person that can help you. That's a hard thing for me to do. It's not so much of I want to do everything myself from a knowledge point, because I know just setting up What's Your Wheelchair Incorporated this year, I knew nothing. I walked into the organization that I go to that helps people get small businesses started, and I knew absolutely nothing. And I knew I didn't know anything, so that's why I needed help. It's not that kind of help. It's the help that you might need to make it through something challenging, and to reach out and say, I'm I'm feeling the stress of this, and I need some help in dealing with that. And once you say that and admit that to yourself, and if you have the courage to reach out beyond yourself, you'll see that the issues at hand are not a monster. They're not gonna. They lose a lot of their scary power by sharing it. And you know the people that you have in your life that you can turn to, and you might feel bad, you might feel guilty about needing help because their lives are busy, or maybe they're going through something challenging. But feeling that gratitude and remembering to have gratitude for everything I have just made everything better. So that's the message I wanted to share with you today, is when you're feeling challenged, and or more challenged than usual, because I really don't know anybody who doesn't face challenges on a daily basis. When you're feeling that way, just sit back and you don't have to even think of people that, like I said, have it worse than you. You can, there's nothing wrong with saying, I want to strive and make my life better. Even though I feel horrible for these folks in this situation, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to excel and get create a better life for yourself. But before you do that, or as you're doing that, or on the journey to do that, remember to be grateful for all that you have, because it will, like I said, empower you and make things seem so much more possible. Because a lot of that gratitude will probably, once you look at it, go towards things that you've done and things that you've created for yourself that you should be proud of. So express gratitude to yourself, express gratitude to the folks in your life that have helped you get where you are, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's in any way, shape, or form. And don't forget to stop and smell the roses. So have a fantastic day, and I wish you the best. I'll be sure to see you soon.